Hey guys, tonight we dive headfirst into the roller coaster ride that was the Thunderbolts. Imagine standing on the edge of a lightning storm, the air charged with excitement, anticipation buzzing around you like static electricity only to feel the thunder crack and the storm fizzle out sooner than expected. You probably won't survive this emotional thunderclap without some popcorn and a deep breath. So, before you get comfortable, take a moment to like the video and subscribe, but only if you genuinely enjoy what I do here. And, hey, drop your location and local time in the comments. I'm curious who's watching this with me tonight. Now, settle in, maybe grab your favorite drink, and let the story unfold as we dive into the Marvel madness together. You step into the bright glare of the Marvel spotlight, where every release is met with eager cheers and sky-high expectations. Thunderbolts promise to be the MCU's next big thing, a daring team of anti-heroes and misunderstood villains joining forces. A deliciously edgy twist for fans craving something darker. The trailers teased slick action, morally gray characters, and a plot thick with intrigue. Social media lit up like a city at night. Theories buzzing through fan forums, and excitement hitting a fever pitch. You can almost smell the popcorn in theaters and hear the buzz of whispered debates in the aisles. But then, the numbers came in and the mood shifted. Despite rave reviews from critics and die-hard fans, the box office numbers were underwhelming. The thunder didn't roar as expected. Instead, it was more like a disappointing drizzle. Marvel's latest gamble hadn't paid off. You might find yourself wondering, how could a franchise so dominant stumble on what seemed like a guaranteed hit? Here's a quirky tidbit to chew on. The film's title, Thunderbolts, is a nod to a lesser-known comic book team famous among hardcore fans, but relatively obscure to the casual moviegoer. It's like naming a blockbuster The Amazing Ant-Man's Accountant, intriguing to insiders, but confusing to the uninitiated. This mismatch between deep-cut fan service and mainstream appeal planted the seeds of the film's uphill battle. Historians of cinema and pop culture still argue whether the MCU's rapid expansion is a strength or a liability. Some say oversaturation dilutes excitement, while others believe every new corner of the universe builds a richer tapestry. As you sit with that debate, you sense the fragile balancing act Marvel faces, pleasing loyal fans while inviting fresh eyes without scaring them off. You remember the scent of freshly printed movie tickets mixed with buttery popcorn, the palpable energy of anticipation. The film's opening weekend should have been an electric pulse racing through theaters worldwide. Instead, you find yourself in a quieter room, pondering what went wrong as the credits roll on this chapter of Marvel's saga. Maybe the audience wasn't ready for an anti-hero team with complicated motivations, or maybe the marketing didn't reach beyond the usual fan bubble. Whatever the cause, Thunderbolts' stumble is a moment of reckoning, a rare pause in Marvel's usually relentless march. And as you ponder the possibilities, you can't help but crack a smile at the irony. A team called Thunderbolts that didn't quite strike the box office as hard as lightning. You're now backstage, behind the glitz and glam of the Marvel machine, peeling back the layers of Thunderbolts' stumble like a detective piecing together clues from a complex puzzle. The cameras are off, the fanfare subdued, and what you find is a tangle of decisions, some bold, some baffling, that shaped the film's fate. Production whispers tell you the script went through numerous rewrites, trying to balance character depth with blockbuster spectacle. It's like trying to juggle flaming swords while riding a unicycle, exciting in theory, but precarious in practice. Early on, there was talk of pushing a darker, grittier tone to stand apart from previous MCU fare, but executives worried about alienating casual fans. This tug-of-war left the final product somewhat caught in the middle, too nuanced for the casual viewer, too familiar for the hardcore crowd craving fresh thrills. Marketing campaigns, which usually roar like a freight train, were instead more like a quiet hum. Teasers dropped sporadically, and key characters received uneven spotlight time in promos. You find yourself wondering if the team behind the ads were caught in their own thunderstorm, unsure whether to sell the anti-hero edge or the classic Marvel charm. The result? Potential new fans weren't drawn in, while longtime enthusiasts felt the campaign lacked the punch they expected. Here's a quirky detail. one of the lead actors reportedly improvised a scene during filming that fans now call the accidental meme. It wasn't scripted, but the spontaneity gave the character an unexpected charm that critics praised. Unfortunately, that scene got cut in the final edit, sparking online petitions for its return. It's a reminder that sometimes magic happens in the chaos if only it makes it to the screen. Industry insiders also speculate that the timing of Thunderbolts' release played a part. It dropped in a crowded summer, sandwiched between a couple of franchise blockbusters and a highly anticipated indie darling. The movie landscape is an arena where even titans clash, and Thunderbolts found itself caught in a crossfire for attention. You recall the debate among film scholars about whether Marvel should slow its release pace to let audiences breathe and build excitement again. Some argue that the relentless schedule dilutes impact, while others insist fans crave constant new content. It's like a race where the finish line keeps moving, thrilling but exhausting. Despite all this, you feel the pulse of Thunderbolts, beating beneath the surface, a story of ambition, risk, and the messy beauty of creation. Marvel's journey here is a reminder that even the mightiest franchises aren't immune to stumbles. And sometimes, it's the missteps that lead to the greatest leaps. You can't help but chuckle at the idea of the accidental meme that never saw the light of day, a secret treasure lost in the editing bay, waiting for its moment to shine. You step into the future now, imagining Marvel's next moves after the Thunderbolts detour. The MCU is a sprawling universe, a kaleidoscope of heroes, villains, and stories that never truly end, they only shift shape. What if this stumble isn't a failure, but a pivot point? You can almost hear the gears turning behind Marvel's scenes, the strategists plotting a comeback worthy of the legends they create. One bold path is a return to character-driven stories, focusing on fan favorites who embody the spirit and heart of the MCU. Picture Spider-Man swinging back into the spotlight with a fresh, unexpected twist, or Captain Marvel leading a cosmic adventure that feels both epic and intimate. These characters aren't just heroes. They're anchors for the audience, familiar beacons in a sea of new faces. But what about the Thunderbolts themselves? Here's an obscure tidbit for you. In the comics, the team's lineup constantly changes, sometimes including surprising allies and former foes. This fluid identity could be Marvel's secret weapon, rebranding Thunderbolts as a rotating ensemble that keeps fans guessing and engaged. It's a narrative playground that allows creative freedom and fan input, blending unpredictability with deep lore. Scholars and fans alike debate whether Marvel's future lies in smaller, character-focused projects or massive crossover events. Both approaches have merits. Intimate tales offer emotional resonance, while blockbuster spectacles deliver jaw-dropping visuals and shared universe thrills. The challenge? Balancing these scales without tipping too far one way. You envision new marketing strategies, to campaigns that harness social media buzz, interactive fan experiences, and behind-the-scenes peeks that deepen connection. Imagine exclusive content teasing character arcs or mystery reveals dropped like Easter eggs, keeping anticipation simmering between releases. The age of passive viewing is fading. Marvel's next phase might be as much about engagement as spectacle. And here's a light joke to ease the tension. Maybe Marvel just needs to cast Thor as a marketing guru. After all, who better to summon lightning and attention? Ultimately, you sense Marvel's resilience. Thunderbolts' stumble is but a single beat in an ongoing symphony. Every hero's journey includes trials, setbacks, and triumphs. As you imagine future stories unfolding, you feel a quiet excitement that the MCU's next act will surprise, delight, and maybe even shock in ways you never expected. The screen fades to black, but the story? Oh, it's far from over. The story winds down softly now. Like the last embers of a fading sunset stretching across the horizon, you lean back, letting the rush of Marvel's highs and lows settle into a calm rhythm. The thunder has quieted, replaced by a gentle hum of possibility, an open invitation to dream beyond what's been. You remember the electric anticipation before Thunderbolts, the flicker of hope that this bold experiment could rewrite the rules. Even in its stumble, there's beauty, a reminder that storytelling is messy, unpredictable, and alive. Marvel's vast universe isn't a finished painting, but a canvas waiting for new brushstrokes. where every color and shadow has its place. As your mind drifts, you imagine quiet moments between explosions, a hero's doubt, a villain's regret, a team finding its fractured harmony. These are the stories that resonate, the hidden life behind the spectacle, and you realize maybe what truly matters isn't the size of the box office, but the heart beating beneath the costumes. So tonight, as you close your eyes, carry this with you: every ending is a new beginning, and every misstep a chance to rise again. Marvel's story continues, waiting to unfold in your imagination and beyond. Fellow traveler, the universe is vast, and the adventure never ends. If you enjoyed this deep dive into the Marvel Universe, don't forget to hit that like button, it really helps out the channel. And if you want to stay up to date with all things Marvel and cinematic storytelling, go ahead and subscribe. I only want you here if you truly love this kind of content, so no pressure, but if that's you, welcome to the family.